All right, Shalom. First and foremost, I'm gonna give all praises, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Hakadash. Double honors unto the apostles and the elders of the great millstone. Peace and salutations to the Akim, to the elect that are scattered throughout the four corners of this earth, pushing the truth out in faith and sincerity. I'm the brother Shema Allah from the GMS Houston camp. This lesson is going to be entitled Rejoice and Be Glad, O Daughter of Edom. Because the Edomites have been, in power quite some time, which the Edomites represent, the so-called white man, right? And, their descendants. They've been in power, they've been ruling the earth, committing treacherous crimes, breaking treaties, right? Um, just having a wicked rulership, and a wicked grip over the planet Earth. How the prophecy states that he would do, and he will rule, by that sword, right? That was given to him as a blessing. All right, so that's why he's able to, be in his position and have all of the riches and have control over everything. All right, because he was blessed in war. All right, that's literally their gift and their blessing, and he's used it, you know, to forward his wickedness and his wicked plans and his wicked agenda. All right, and also took over the Israelites, and reigns, and oppresses our people, all right, daily, and have done many atrocities unto us throughout time. All right, and has the Most High, right, have used him, all right, to bring us to a lower state. Okay, but now that grip, right, that he has on the planet Earth and that he has on the Israelites is loosening. All right, because we are waking up, you know, we are rising up and basically condemning this man, right, and preaching, the gospel, right, which the gospel entails of his destruction and his future judgment. All right, that's literally part of the message. All right, that this man is going down, right, and then Jake is on the come up. All right, which Jake represents the Negroes, the Latinos, and Native Americans. All right, so I'm gonna start here in Isaiah, all right, 47. Read down to about verse 6. All right, but it says, "Come down and sit in the dust, O virgin daughter of Babylon." All right, now this Babylon is talking about America. It's not talking about ancient Babylon, all right, where or the Neo-Babylonian Empire where Nebuchadnezzar ruled, right? It's not talking about ancient, Babylon with Nimrod. This is talking about America, right? Ruled by Esau, Edom. That's why it says the virgin, daughter of Babylon. All right, not actual Babylon, all right? The virgin daughter of Babylon, all right? Spiritually, okay? Because Babylon goes back to the word Babal in the Hebrew, which means confusion. In this place, it's nothing but confusion. All right, but it says, "Sit on the ground, there is no throne." All right, meaning that this man is going to be taken out of his power seat. He's going to be taken out of rulership. All right, because the Lord has made him, a God over the earth. All right, but now that power is about to be snatched, right, and taken from him. And he says, "Oh, daughter of the Chaldeans, for thou shalt no more be called tender and delicate." All right. So the Chaldeans, all right, were basically the wise men, of that society. Okay. It was actually it's a particular area. You could be from Chaldee, but it became a actual title or a class for the wise men, and they were skilled in astrology, astronomy, divinations, dream interpretations, sorcery, witchcraft. They were into all of that. All right. and they were basically the men that the kings, would go to for counsel, what people would go to, for to get, you know, war predictions and things of that nature. Like the priests would go to the Most High, right? By way of the Urim and the Thummim, right, to get an answer, we should go to war or not. So they were basically doing these things, especially on the left hand side. All right, and you got Esau doing that today, right? He got people that specialize in this, that specialize in the witchcraft and the sorcery and all of this, right? Reading the stars and all of this. Right? He uses it on the left hand side, all right, for his benefit, right? And it says, take the millstone and grind milk, uncover thy locks, make bare the leg, uncover the thigh, pass over the rivers, right? And it's talking about him getting, exposed, right, on a high level. And he's being exposed on a high level by the prophets. All right, the Lord has put the Spirit upon us, right, to expose this man, because he's being able to hide in front, right, for many years. All right, but now we are basically, letting the world know who he truly is, right, according to the scriptures. All right, it says, thy nakedness shall be uncovered, yet thy shame shall be seen. All right, I will take vengeance. I will not meet thee as a man. And that's going to our Lord Yahushua, right? He's not going to meet, him, the Edomites, right, or the planet Earth. He's not coming back, as just some regular man as he was. All right, when he was on the planet Earth, right, when he was born, of a father and a mother, right, and he came just to preach and to be a sacrifice, right, for the Israelites. Okay, and set up, his men, set up the teachers, set up the disciples, and they turned the apostles, right, to get this message spread. All right, but now he's coming back, right, as the Lion of the tribe of Judah. First he was that lamb, but now he's going to be that lion. Okay, and he's coming back for vengeance, right, full of power and glory. All right, to execute, judgment on the planet Earth, right, which the scriptures say in 1 John, I believe it's 5:18, that the whole world lies in wickedness. So he's coming to put wickedness out. It says, as for our Redeemer, Yahweh of hosts is his name, the Holy One of Israel. Sit thou silent and get thee into darkness, O daughter of the Chaldeans, for thou shalt no more be called the Lady of Kingdoms. So this place is going to be brought, really low, right, to the point, they're not going to have an answer for anything that's happening. Like the Chaldeans, they were the ones who can tell you what's going on, right, by the way of their magic, right, by the way of their sorcery and all these particular things. And the king will go to them for counsel, and for insight. But Esau ain't going to have no insight. All right, that's why when you go into this chapter, it's going to go into how this is going to come upon him unawares, and about the astrologers and the stargazers. None of that's going to be able to help you. All right, you no longer going to be on top. Okay, nothing's going to be able to reverse, the situation or the role, right, that the Lord has set for you, and that's to be, in subjection to the Israelites, right, in the kingdom of heaven. It says, I was wroth with my people. I have polluted mine inheritance and given them into thine hand. And this happened during the transatlantic slave trade. All right, the Most High gave us into his hand, and we suffered many things, all right, because of our disobedience, to the law, statutes, and commandments, right? So he let Esau basically do, whatsoever, he wanted to do, all right? It says, thou didst show them no mercy upon the ancient, thou hast very heavily laid the yoke. So the Most High gave us into his hand, all right? But now that time, is over, okay? That time is over. Like it says in Daniel 7:25, it shall be given, I believe it said, shall be given into thy hand for the dividing of times. And let me see. exactly how it's worded. Um, it says, and he shall speak great words against the Most High, and shall wear out the saints of the Most High, and think to change times and laws, and shall be given into his hand until a time and times and dividing the times. Right, from the time, of 16, 18, 16, 19, coming over here to the late 1960s, 1970s. All right, when Elijah was raised up again, right, through a man named Abba Bivens. All right, to spread this message, to preach this message, and it freed us, right, from that mental captivity that we were in. Okay, and then that's the beginning of the downfall of this man's kingdom. He no longer had that grip and that control and that power that he once had over us, all right, and that influence. You lost it, right, against the ones that believe, against the ones that wake up to this thing. You don't have that anymore. All right. Lamentations 4:21. Rejoice and be glad, O daughter of Edom, that dwellest in the land of Uz. The cup also shall pass through unto thee. Thou shalt be drunken, and thou shalt make thyself naked. Right, the cup. Right, basically going into slavery, right, and the sufferings, right, that he has to go through. Okay, that's coming up to him. The things that we had to endure, bro, he gonna have to go through that. It's gonna be done through righteousness, of course, because we ain't stooping to his level. All right, he was like a beast. All right, the things that he did to us during slavery. All right, no person in their right mind would do things like that. But that's why it says that the spirit which is in him is not upright. You know, but he, like I said, he's being exposed for who he truly is on the planet Earth, right? And he's being hated by everybody around the planet Earth. They see him for who he is. It says, the punishment of thine iniquity is accomplished, O daughter of Zion. He will no more carry thee away into captivity. He will visit thine iniquity, O daughter of Edom. He will discover thy sins. So the punishment of the Israelites it's been accomplished, man. All right, we went through all that we were supposed to, go through, and now we are nearing the end. All right, we still got just a few more prophecies, bro, to take place. All right, before we back in the land, before we in the kingdom of heaven. That's it. All right, and we are near that. And then there's no more. It's like he will no more carry thee away into captivity. So it's not gonna be no more slavery. Right? We ain't gonna be in captivity under nobody. We ain't gonna be in subjection to nothing but the Most High, right? Yahweh and Yahushua. That's it. Right? And the world is gonna be governed by the law, statutes, and commandments. Okay? He said he will visit thine iniquity, O daughter of Edom, he will discover thy sin. So it's gonna be time for you to get your judgment. Right, that you've been running from. All right, because the Most High don't forget anything. All right, that's why it says, thou thoughtest that, I was such a one as thyself. Because the Most High been letting him get away with things just for prophecy's sake. All right, but now that judgment is coming for you. This is 2 Samuel 7:10. Moreover, I will appoint a place for my people Israel, and will plant them that they may dwell in a place of their own, and move no more, and that's the land of Israel. All right, because the people in the land over there today, all right, those are not the true people according to prophecy. All right, prophecy exposes them, and prophecy reveals that we are those people. All right, so the Lord is going to place us in that land. Right, it's not going to be a certain declaration set up. We got to go to the government and then signing this and signing that. Then they're going to take no. It's not how it's going to happen. It's not how it's supposed to happen. Right, yeah, Yahushua is going to come get us, take us over there. Which says, neither shall the children of wickedness afflict them anymore as before time. So children of wickedness is talking about the Edomites. So the affliction, from these people, bro, it's not coming back. And that's why I said rejoice and be glad. Like, do all that you need to do right now, because you're not gonna have a chance to do this again. Scripture say, "What affliction shall not rise the second time." Do all you need to do, bro. All right, because this is it. All right? Your time is short, and you know that it is short. All right, but I'll end it off here. All right, this is what's coming to them. Psalms 149:5. Let the saints be joyful in glory. Let them sing aloud upon their beds. The saints are the Israelites. All right, Psalms 15:5 tells you that the saints are the ones who have made a covenant with the Heavenly Father. Right, and the Israelites only have made that covenant. All right, so anybody can't just be no saint. Right, people like to take this term and place it on themselves. All right. It says, "Let the high praises of the Most High be in their mouth, and the two-edged sword in their hand, to execute vengeance upon the heathen and punishments upon the people." So we're gonna be in the power seat, man. We're gonna be the rulers, right, of the world. Right. The scriptures speak about the 144,000. That's the government body. That's the house of David. Right. That's gonna rule, and David is gonna be raised back up as well, and vengeance will be executed upon the heathen like he did back then, during his rule. All right, and the heathen is gonna be put in subjection. Okay, and they will, after our kingdom is built up, after things get established, they're gonna be able to go back and live in their lands, right, and have rulers set over them. Okay, in the kingdom of heaven. Right, they're gonna be able to enjoy the earth, right, to enjoy actual water, actual food, right. They won't be perfect. They're still gonna sin, all right. But the order is gonna be in the independent earth. There'll be no adultery going on, bro. It ain't gonna be no, Moism. All right, the alphabet community ain't gonna be none of that running around. All right, and they're gonna love it. But majority of the vengeance and the punishment is gonna be towards Esau, Edom. To bind their kings with chains and their nobles with fetters of iron. Right, the Rothschilds. All right, the top banking families, the ones who actually are in control of things. Right, not a Donald Trump. Okay, not a Elon Musk. All right, the people you don't see, the people whose face ain't on TV. Okay, infinite wealth. All right, these are the people that makes the rules, that makes the laws. Right, that makes things happen, and they operate in secrecy. All right, where it says to execute upon them the judgment written. This honor have all his saints. Praise you, Yahweh. All of Israel is going to be able to get a part in this, bro. And this is going to be the big payback. And it's going to be so exciting to live this out. The kingdom of heaven will be so exciting. All right, full of joy, full of happiness, full of peace. All right, for all that the Israelites have been through, for all that our people have been through. All right, man, the Lord is going to make it worth it. So, with that, I'm going to say shalom.